Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to all the Akim doing this work in sincerity and in truth. This is the brother Yachanan from the GMS Houston camp, and this lesson will be entitled A Proverb and A Byword, which comes from Deuteronomy chapter 28 in the 37th verse. And this is an article from the Guardian. Black people who were labeled backward as children seek justice for lifelong trauma. And just off the back, this lesson going into a proverb and byword, this word, labeling us black people when we're not black. We're different shades of brown. The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and the rest that are scattered and look like the heathen are Israelites. And then also labeled, let's take a look at this word labeled real quick. Just a quick Google definition. And we'll go down to the second definition. A classifying phrase or name applied to a person or thing, especially one that is inaccurate or restrictive. So these labels, being labeled as backward and stuff like that, is generally, it's not true about Jake. We've invented a lot of things. We're pretty smart all around, but this is just part of the curses. Black people who are labeled backward as children seek justice for lifelong trauma, and you're not gonna see any kind of justice or anything here in Babylon, or as long as Esau, the so-called white man, is ruling. The only way you're gonna receive true justice is by turning back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and letting him take care of all this. Anyway, into the article. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm just only gonna read maybe the first two paragraphs. Black people wrongly labeled educationally subnormal as children in the UK before being sent to special schools have launched a campaign demanding an apology and compensation from the government. They say their lives have been ruined by their early experiences during the 1960s and 70s. They were told they were backward or slow or a dunce, and placed in schools with no curriculum, no exams, and no qualifications. The consequences have lasted a lifetime, blighting their confidence and self-esteem and life chances. And you can read the rest of the article. You can even look at the comments to see what this is going into, how these curses apply, because the people in the comments, they don't take this article seriously. They laughing at us, mocking us, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's continue on. Let's get into the scriptures. This is Deuteronomy. I'm gonna start at 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So part of the curses is that we would become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. It's like 37. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither Yahweh shall scatter thee. And this word astonishment, that's Strong's H04, Strong's H8047, Shema. And that's a horror, appallment, like us being labeled thugs and addicts and murderers and all this stuff. Like, people, especially terrified of thugs, they think you're just gonna walk up on them and knock them upside the head and steal their wallet or whatever. And then the next word, proverb. This is Strong's H4912, mashal. A proverb, a parable, a similitude, a poem, sentences of ethical wisdom. But really, you can go into that a maxim or a proverb, or making a similitude by comparing us to beasts, saying we're lazy. If you look at the stereotypes of Jake, or the so-called black man or black women, you got Sambo. Who's that guy from Huckleberry Finn? That dude. Just dumb Negro. A soft shoe shuffle. Or even these people that you see today, these rappers and stuff like that, the pants sagging. Like, that's something that people look and see that, and they think that's all of us. And then the next word for byword is Strong's H8148, Shanaya, or Shanyana. Slaki, I don't have the best pronunciation, but anyway, a sharp word, a taunt, a jibe, or meaning that, like, it call you a nigger, a spook, a wetback, tonto, subnormal, backwards, a dunce, a moron, whatever else, any other things. But the Lord said that this would happen to us. We didn't keep his commandments. All these things would happen to us in all the nations wherever we went. People would be scared of us, not in righteousness, but scared of us out of just carnality. And going on to the next one, this is Psalms 44, verse 13 in the NLT. It says, "You let our neighbors mock us. We are an object of scorn and derision to those around us. You have made us the butt of their jokes. They shake their head at us in scorn. We can't escape the constant humiliation. Shame is written across our faces. All we hear are the taunts of our mockers. All we see are our vengeful enemies." And I mean, just look around. Look at any comment section. Look at anything to do with Jake. There's gonna be people on there mocking us, doing the videos mocking us, in the comment board mocking us. You'll hear your coworkers or whoever. Like, you just all around, people will just mock us. Like, there's no escape from it, like the scripture just said. And when Yahushua returns, all these things are going to be set in order, in their proper order. When the elect receive their new bodies and they can't go off, they can't break the commandments anymore, then these other nations, they're not going to have anything to say to mock us. It's going to be the complete opposite. They're going to have nothing but praise for us. Almost like how it's kind of wearing off now, but almost like how they have praise for the so-called white man right now. Everybody wants to be like him. Everybody following after him, for the most part, because they see this guy, he has the power, and how he does things. Oh, this must be right. But it's starting to wear off. But this is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5, and this is Moses speaking unto the children of Israel. "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great who have power so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our power is in all things isn't all things that we call upon him for. And no other nation is going to have that. Only Israel. And they're going to see us and be like, wow, this is a great people. Like, wow. Like, and it's going to be the complete opposite of what it is today. And Lord willing, this was edifying and to the point. Shalom.